Welcome to Center of Light.
Access granted.
Everyone has access to the new year that's coming. Tonight we're going to be talking about that very thing. 2020. Check this out. Occupy 2020. Occupy. Being mindful, thinking about all that is inherent in your very near future. Our very near future. Hello, everyone. Steve Stone. Lewis, my bro. John, and hi, Anpar, Kelly, Sana, Pri, Allison, John Berthelot, Keith Blanchard's here. Hello, everyone. Please share this to you all. Share this somewhere. Also, beginning of the new year, which we're going to be talking about. Tonight's presentation is Occupy 2020 Review and Prep. I want to grab a couple of things real quick. First and foremost, please do this now or right on your forehead or on sticky note. I'm going to be shifting all my presentations to Center of Light Radio on Facebook or YouTube. I want to move all that energy there for author, teacher purposes. Please do that. Also, check out these beauties. These beauties mean a lot to me and to everyone. You can purchase my book at this group of links. My website, YouTube link. Get us a YouTube channel if you don't have one. Basically, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I can use your sponsorship. More of my creations at Center of Light Radio. Welcome everyone to Center of Light. Tonight we're talking about Occupy 2020 Review and Prep. Everything good in social media land? Send me an exclamation point. Just upped my video card and I am now participating, coming at you live on Center of Light Radio in 1920 by 1080 resolution. Got new 32 gigs of RAM memory from my computer. Got it nice and robust. Things are bumping. Everything looks good. Everything's fast. So I'm waiting on your reply so I can move forward with the presentation. I'm stalling. Keith, you're stalling. Falling into my zone. First, I want to say Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays to you. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever it is that does the it for you, I wish that upon you and your family. Okay? Still waiting to see those exclamation points. Everyone's saying everything good. That's okay. Let's keep moving forward. Tonight we're going to be speaking about review and prep. Let's review the last year. (2018) things were moving a pretty good bit. Enter 2019 and things get way off the chart. Way off the chart. In both directions. Positive pull, negative pull. A lot took place in 2019. It exponentiated from 2018. It turned within itself and gave a bigger expression. And everyone's getting a glimpse, an undeniable, unmistakable glimpse. Thank you, Pri. As we do a year in review, Powers of 10, 2018 to 2019, it was like a Powers of 10. Hello, Kristen. That took place. And I think everyone who's listening to this presentation would agree. Maybe not the Powers of 10, but you get the point. It turned within itself and said, hello, do you know me? The wonderful things you do, the not so wonderful things you do. Look at the world. What's taking place in the world? Looks like you, doesn't it? Looks just like you in this case, doesn't it? Come 2019, the window opened up to get a greater glimpse of who we are. Lots of really horrible things happened in 2019 up to this point. I'm going to name a few. The fires in the world, the Amazon, then Africa, then Australia. Hello, Michelle Lewis. The fires. The Amazon's burning, probably still burning. I saw that some native protector, warrior, hunter, young guy, protector, and he was a warrior, and he was going to fight to the death. And he fought to the death to protect the Amazon. The Amazon, our mother's lungs. Then we have Africa. And now we have Australia's burning. What does all this mean? It means purification of all that. And it also reflects to everyone else how transient the world is. It all gets burnt away from ash to ash, dust to dust. Lay into the earth once again, we must. And then all of a sudden, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris collapses, burns, but it collapses. As we look into the not so long ago past, the World Trade Center collapsed. What do we think all this means? Well, these are just things that happen. Well, of course, these are things that happen, but they don't just happen at random. There is a divine order, and we affect the tapestry of how it all plays out individually as well as collectively. So, with all the chaos that's happening in the world, let me name a few. Without any further ado, let me name a few. 2019. We might have heard about some of these things, maybe a few, pre-2019. But they were not so forthcoming and so bold and in your face, literally in your face, to the degree of these realities, these warped realities that we are getting. You can't go out and just point your finger at people for playing badly in the game of life and cheating the game of life when you ain't looking. Because the fact that you feel bad about it all and in judgment of said people, and the fact that you're playing the game makes you no more off the hook than anybody else. You have to take responsibility for your world, yourself, and what is happening around you. That is your obligation. One moment. Did y'all see that? That is your obligation. That is your divine duty. That was one of the reasons you were able to come to say, I'm going to do a magical, powerful something. Doesn't mean you're not doing it already in your life. Something for you, really for you. To fulfill that soul contract. It's your contract, it's not anybody else's. Knock on heaven's door, basically. St. Peter. So here are some of the things that took place in 2019 that I'm telling you turned within itself from 18 to 19 times 10. And you can bet come 2020 is going to be times 10 again. The bubble, the balloon is expanding. There can come a time where the surface tension becomes too much and the balloon will burst. Your balloon will burst. The collective balloon will burst. Here are some of the things that took place. The fires. Jeffrey Epstein took place. All this stuff started coming out. Trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking, pedophilia. Well, we may have known some of this existed a little bit and came up, and I'm talking about the envelope is being pushed. The divine envelope is being pushed. Chemtrails. We've heard about chemtrails for years. In fact, it is so commonplace now, we don't hear about it as much as we used to. But it has not gone away. I'm not going to get into the politics of chemtrails. This is all coming out in 2019. Then we're going to get into the importance and the power of 2020. 2 and 2 is 4. The power of 4. Aliens. You think they're here now? When that gate of 2020 opens up, think about this. In a numerical perspective, an astrological perspective, a mathematical perspective, a binary perspective, a code perspective, a sequence, a formula, something that is a landmark for 7.7 billion people, an image that represents an icon, a landmark for 7.7 billion people, has to have power. Wow. That power looks like this. The energies are coming together. They're not fighting. There's no war in heaven and hell. There are no light beings swinging lightsabers trying to kill demons from attacking people. It's nonsense. Stop it. The energy is coming together. It's commingling. Fire and ice and every flavor in between. Look at the 2020. That is a numerical symbol of some power, a code, a structure, a landmark for everyone that occupies the earth. 2-0. 2-0. We have 4. I'll get into that in a moment. It's greater than you think. It's greater than you can think. That's why you need to get out of the noise in the head to open up the heart here. Because this heart right here is actually another brain. It's a gateway that lets you understand things that you have not before. And it's not a language as you know language to be. That's not what it is. It's a thickening. It's an understanding of something that begins to integrate into your bones all the way back to your soul. How do I know this? I am living proof. It's not about just functioning throughout the day and doing these tasks, getting paid to eat food, to go to bed, to wake up and do it all over again. So within this landmark time, 7.7 billion people hyper-focusing on this event. In fact, millions of people watch these events throughout all over the world when it's December 31st. I'm going into the new year. Can you imagine the fireworks? I'm talking about spiritual fireworks. Can you imagine the luminosity, the illumination that happens? That beings on other levels of reality can see people just bursting open in celebration and guffawing and having a good time and partying like it's 1999. Right? But 2020 is another idea completely. It's not like 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, so forth. The last major number was 2012. So now we're moving into the 2020, 2020. How does that sound? It even has a magic on your ear, 2020. So everything is going to begin to exponentiate. The chaos is going to get louder. And the peace is going to get quieter. So let's review the things that, and if anyone wants to share in the forum something that may have taken place in 2019 on any level, it's probably something extreme so we can see the polar opposites in the dynamic that's taking place. So if anyone wants to post something positive or negative in the forum, just a 1 or 2 word event, fires in Amazon, human trafficking, this beautiful thing, whatever, please feel free to do so. So we named the fires Epstein trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking, pedophilia, chemtrails, aliens. They're coming. They're here. If I were you, I would learn about them now. Not because they're bad, because they're not. The bad ones really don't have access to the human experience anymore. Some of them are here, many of them are caught here, and they can never leave. There's no way out for them. This is all about vibration and higher vibration as well as density, depending on where you are. Some gates are not open. But the darker ones can't get in anymore. They can't. And there are others that we are integral and important to their evolution, so they are here to help. And help they do. So my point is, if you learn about them now, I'd be glad to do presentations on them if you're curious. Learn about them now so they start feeling familiar to you. So that when someone knocks on your door and it's John Doe alien, you're not so freaked out. You say, oh, wow, yeah, you look a little strange and I'm a little kind of witty about it, But I know about you. And you start familiarizing yourself with their purpose, who they are, where they're from, why they exist, how long they have existed, what is our interest to them, and what do they have in interest for you. It is where everything is going. It's actually going back to the beginning. We're moving into a beginning. There's a world that's ending. One world dies, another world is born. That baby has been pushed out of Mother Gaia's womb. That new earth has opened up. And it's beating. The heart is beating. That infant is beating. We are the infants. And we're moving into this place that 2020 is going to give you everything that you ask for. Conscious or not. Conscious or not, you will be given everything that you ask for. No exceptions. If you're not aware of a said thing, and your awareness could have said thing, have you avoid it, it is guaranteed to show itself. Basically, it's no longer a time for ignorance, because that too will manifest in the blink of an eye. It's not doom and gloom. It's revealing to you the level of and depth and magnitude of your power. It's really not your power. It comes through what you think is you, because really, the essence, you are not even you. You are not even what you think or can think you are. So this power that we're expanding into is saying, whatever it is, because I love you beyond measure, dear one, God basically, as I get closer to you in the form of occupying 2020 in your consciousness, because I sit in there a little more now, everything that you are, without a doubt, in and out and all about, is going to begin to transpire. It's happening now. We're just not over the 51% of the bang of it all, because we're not in 2020 yet. Here's something else. Aliens, we talked about aliens. Politics. Look at your social media feed now. If you have a fantastic feed, I still have my friends I hang out with who are all into that. Look at any form of media. Look at politics. Now, look at politics now and what's happening. How people are going at each other. How do you think that's going to play out in 2020? With every day, every week, every month that we get closer to November, 6? 2020. An election day. How do you think that's going to play out? And regardless of who wins, how do you think the backside of that's going to play out? Do you want to be plugged into that world? So without judgment, what you do is you take a step back and just simply see it for what it is. This is how people choose to play the game of life. I'm retiring early from this game. I just want no part of it. Well, Keith, how do you expect to make a difference if you don't vote? Oh, I vote every day. I vote every day. This is how I vote. I ask the highest authority, or I do what I can to actually see what it has for me that I can offer to contribute to where writing my little signature, which is not who I am in the first place, on a ballot saying, okay, I agree, to a level of respect, reverence that says, I agree. Feel me, show me, tell me, how can I offer this up for everyone? My vote is cast. There's no higher authority. Who do we have to answer to? Politics 2020, not fun. Vaccines. I think anti-vax has made its point very well. Pri says, yes, this year has truly tested us, a releasing of what no longer serves. Jack Brewer, what's up, my ghost hunting bro? Kelly, hi Kelly, she says, I think it would be cool to meet someone besides being a human. It's fantastic. My friend Nucleus 8, the alien. It's strange. It's weird. It's hard to find your center. That's a great way to explain it. It's hard to find your center because we cannot run our script, our story. Everybody has a story. You run your script on an alien being, they will mirror it to you, just like the window that I'm speaking about tonight, 2020. You will see yourself immediately. You have a dialogue with an alien being. It is not how you perceive it to be, because it's an alien one. Rick Vito. Hi, Anna. So we're naming some of the things that took place in 2019 alone. The fires, Amazon, Africa, Australia, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. He didn't kill himself. He's probably still alive. I've seen footage. Pretty compelling, I may say. Trafficking, pedophiles, chemtrails, aliens, politics 2020 is not going to be fun. Vaccines have made their point. Don't get stuck in that situation. I'm saying that for me. Etc. Yanavarek. Here's the good stuff. This is what else coming in 2020. Let me go say hi to YouTube. I want to say again, thank you, Spirit. I'm grateful for my new technology. My new technology. I upped my video card. I'm functioning in 1920 by 1080 resolution. New RAM, 32 gigs. I'm pushing my computer to the hilt. I love quality. Not only in the media world, I'm a media nut. But also, I like quality in my work. I have that kind of integrity about what I do, which makes it all very sacred to me. And I lovingly give that to you because you are loved beyond measure. So, let's go into the good qualities of what I know as a spiritual teacher, intuitive, seer, visionary, because not only can I see and intuit and psychic, I don't like that word. That's why I messed up. I don't like the word. What I know to be in alignment with is the first word I want to offer is chosen deliberately, and it's called intensity. Intensity. The first word I would like to attribute to 2020 is intensity. Very, very strong energies. Very, very big events. I'm not just playing some vague psychic guy trying to... That's not what I'm not into that. I am looking at the movement of energy. It's going to be very intense. So it is integral for all of us to stay centered. If you find your life wobbly now, get busy. Then you need to get on YouTube or read a book about how to stay grounded and stay in the grounding energy. Once you become familiar, it's like anything. You play guitar for a little while, next thing you know, you're playing a guitar. Well, I'm thinking about playing a guitar. So once you learn the process and the art of grounding yourself, even when the storm around you bitches, you just plan it. It'd be a fantastic exercise. Walk. I am not an outside kind of guy. I love nature, but I'm always working. So my son is my SON. My literal son, SON, but my spiritual son, Christ, Buddha, Jesus, the Christed principle. So this is what's coming into the same... Listen to this. There are not two windows opening. Maybe there is. I didn't see it that way. But let me describe it this way. 2020 is going to be intense. Dark, light, positive, negative, light vibration, fight vibration. So we have 20, a door, and 20, a door. Two doors are opening up. Oh my God, this has just hit me so clearly. Listen to this. That's why I was supposed to say it in that order. You have 20. It's a door. For example, I don't know how this is being spelled out in my consciousness right now. This is how this happens to me. Cute little story. In the year 2020, the overview of it is intensity. What is going to be intense? You may ask. Is that two doors are there, and they can be opened, and they are opening. But here's the idea. These two doors are converging. They're coming together as one. 20 is a door, and 20 is a door. The polarities of the world that you live in. But the divine fire is commingling with its polar opposites in such an intimate way like never before. And we're beginning to occupy consciously that experience. That's exactly what's happening. This is the dynamic. We're at the doors. We can choose. And no matter how many you choose, no matter how often you choose, or how further into the door you go and you stay on the path, or the not so good path, the experience is going to exponentiate many times fold. You have to understand the importance of what I'm sharing with you. It's time to get yourself in the game. Look at those people around you that you know are going to die soon. Complete with it now. You can buffer the grief. It'll create an amazing relief for you if you do this simple little thing. Just be in the moment. Love them for who they are. Love them as if they're going to die tomorrow. In fact, it'll bring out a greater capacity of love you have in yourself for them. Love the people around you to the level as if this was your last chance. And every time you see them, if you love them from that platform, whenever the time happens that it was your last chance, you will be at peace about the losing or the invisibleness of the people you love. How is that for an idea, a model? Be prepared. There's a storm coming, but also coming at the same time is a warm breeze. The winds are blowing. Winter is coming. What does that look like? I have no idea. I know that from the looks of 2019, there was a lot of collective world event selfies taken that were not so pretty at all. See, there's no more corruption in the world now than there was 10 years ago. It's just that with technology and spirit giving everyone the squeeze, it's becoming revealed. Looks like them, doesn't it? It's you. It looks just like you. So with the coming together of these two energies, both doors are open. Door number 1 is 20, and door number 2 is 20. And together they make a whole door of energies coming together. They're not battling. There are no demons and angels in the heavens fighting. 1, demons can't get into heaven to have a fight. 2, if you actually think that there are pure beings of light having physical battle with reptilian lizard creatures, I don't see it. In fact, they don't see it either. What happens when you stand in front of light? It illuminates the dark. The dark has no chance. There's nothing. There's no thought involved. The light is pure, thoughtless. There is no thought in pure light. All there is creation and creative potential for everything unto infinity. You think that actually has to battle demons? Really? No, there's no war in heaven. It's in the construct, Neo. So all the negative things that we have seen in the past, more coming down the opening of 2020. The consciousness is going to turn within itself. It's like feedback on a microphone. Gets louder, gets bigger, gets broader. For those who have the capacity of an expanded awareness now, once you begin to get a greater glimpse of what I am sharing with you now, not that you don't see it on your own, but I'm going to keep revealing these things that I get from Swamiji, God, man on earth, all these beings that I'm fortunate to hang out with in altered states of consciousness, Swamiji and the like, Sati Sai Baba, being blessed with the gift of awareness and sight to be able to share this with you. This is very intimate to me. I take what I do very, very seriously. And I love imparting that because I've seen throughout my life suffering firsthand. Suffering? Let's call that, at that time in my life, it was suffering. How's that? All that being said, awareness is going to start expanding. That's why it's important you are clear and you understand the method of attention and focus and clarity. Because without any of those and the expanding of that awareness, your scope is going to broaden, and you're going to basically, to make this point, take in on all levels consciously. Information is going to be coming in from outside world, trying to convince you to pull you into its temptation, good and bad. Don't worry about the good and the bad in the world. Your job is to be what you know to be. That's it. You can contribute to the evolution and elevation of humanity's unity and global peace by all means. But what we call good and bad in the world is simply a play of God. It's divine consciousness at play. It's a game. A divine matrix it is. But if you don't know how to play the game correctly without cheating, you will never pass go. You will not get $200. You will sit in the community jail. You will feel valueless, and you will have no monopoly of anything. And the monopoly which you really want is you. The window's shutting. 20. And the other window's opening. 20. Awareness expansion. Practice your awareness expansion so you can become aware. Everyone wants to be aware who's hiding behind the building, waiting. Everyone wants to be aware that when something fabulous is about to happen, so you can make sure it happens because we need to contribute and do our part. Awareness. Sightings never known before to man. Creatures. Angelic presences. Deceased loved ones. The veil is thinning. The veil is thinning. The veil is thinning. That's why the doors are opening. It's just a free-for-all. And the bell went off. The last day of school. The bell went off. The last period. 3:15. And everybody moves out them desks and they're out the door. The gates are open. The cosmic gate is open. 2020. 2 represents something other than 1. God, 1. Actually, that is not enough to describe God. We call God one, the only one. That's all there is. There's only one. And its presence is omni. It's omnipresent. It's everywhere. It's in my shirt. It's in this glass of water, this holy water. I'm participating correctly in the game. I'm conscious. God is consciousness. So in order to be with consciousness, I got to play the game correctly. I can't cheat. You can't play the game called consciousness unconsciously. You will never go past go and you will never collect $200. That's not how the law of physics works. It's not how the law of spirit works either. If you want to play the game with unity consciousness, the unity that holds everything together in existence from before time never started till time will never end, we have to become conscious to play with dad and mom again. What else is coming is greater degrees of silence for those who choose silence. What else is coming, the polar opposite, is greater degrees of noise and volume. Well, how are you going to find silence, Mr. Spiritual People? When all around you is noise. Because you have learned to use the noise and the violence and the density and the judgment of the world to reflect to yourself exactly what you are not. Talk about perspective. So in other words, I'm not stuck in the dance of the world. I love the world. I love the people in it more. And I love being a part of it. I'm not lost in the current. I have a life preserver. A life preserver. And it's called awareness. It preserves my life. Awareness can save your life. Awareness can save your soul. So, we have the opportunity for greater degrees of peace, greater degrees of silence. Even when the world gets louder, the peaceful ones are going to obtain greater, deeper degrees of silence because they know how to use noise as a springboard, as a reflection board, so that when they launch the sonar to it, what are you? And it says, I ain't you. And you see, your eye opens up, the heart opens up, your light begins to shine brighter. People around you begin to be moved. It's not hard. Stop fighting. Awareness, deeper degrees of peace. Abundance. For those who are doing what they should be doing, the meek. Abundance. The tides have changed. The tables have turned over. Equally is going to be poverty consciousness for those living in poverty. We've got to do what we can to help out, but I'm talking about the tables literally turning. The children of light, that's what you call yourself, that's what I call you, will begin to receive their just reward. I'm not talking about money, but it is included. And you are included in the abundance of all that is, which makes up the very cells and the community of cells that gives you life. That what you think is you. It's you. It's vibrating everywhere. Do you not feel that cosmic buzz? Do you not feel your divine parent all around you? Do you? I do. And when I align with that intention, I'm able to see further into the door of 2020. And in that door, I see intensity. Intensity. 2020 is going to be intense. Don't stand on the wrong side of the fence. Your greatest lesson might be on that side of the fence. You'll find out fast enough. Be smart in your choices. Also, be willing to expand your awareness to the level that until you did, you never would have learned a particular something. I'm going to be bringing about some info. I'm going to take a short pause. Some work from the Divine Principle as well as some intuitive ideas. Welcome to Center of Light. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Kwanzaa. Happy holidays. Pizza. Rick says pain is gain. Rick says go to jail. L. Wood. Pri says, Rick, how's that beautiful little girl of your... Oh, she's gorgeous. Lillian Moon, I dedicate this show to you, precious. Rick says, yeah, I needed to find a good ground because I feel like I'm being electrocuted. Walk barefooted on the earth. Close your eyes. Imagine that very light that's vibrating you down from your buttocks. If you're standing, through your legs. And if you're sitting, just out of the base of your spine into the ground. Just anchor that white light, turn it red at the bottom, and just anchor it in the ground. And it's just about, literally, it's Rick, it's literally like, just imagine, use your spiritual, just like you would physically take a stake, and spike it in the ground to create a lightning rod. You know, you want to plant something in the ground, some sort of rod, aluminum rod or whatever, lead rod. How easy it would just penetrate? Well, you're actually using spiritual energy to do that. It takes soul energy to create the whole thing working and to put the rod in the ground in the first place. Same idea without the physical thing. Just go in your inside of yourself, use that intensity in 2020 I talked about. Go inside, Rick, and find the energy that's moving. That's intense, like you're feeling. And just be the one that uses your will and spike it. Ground yourself. Just literally, just ground yourself, bro. I know what it's like to be on wobbly energy, bro. It's not fun. All right, everybody. Gonna be right back. Center of light on this. Ooh, today is a Friday night. Wow, it's Friday. Merry Christmas. Listen up, y'all. Let's see. Let's try this one right here. Hopefully, as of now, I really would like it to be Christmas night. Christmas Eve or Christmas night. I want Christmas night. No, it won't be Christmas Eve. I play music. Christmas night, as of now, Christmas night. I'm going to play an audio recording that tells the story about the life of Christ, which is not commonplace. Also, my experience I had with Christ many years ago, written about in the Divine Principle called My Revelation, where he released my consciousness from my body and took me into the future, and I saw the fate of humanity. It was so amazing, blew my mind. Also, really soon, not sure when, stay in touch, share this event, this presentation tonight to your wall, please. Thank you, while I'm thinking about it. Really soon, someone said, Keith, why not just have a Center of Light Christmas party? So we're going to have a party. Not sure when. Stay in touch about that. I may even set up my music. I don't want to sing with my guitar like it is right now because I have to sing, so I'll set up my microphone and put on some lights. Bring some drink, eggnog. You can spike it. You want to ground yourself, like I said. Spike it in the ground. Spike it in yourself. Bring the lightning rod in. Let the Christmas Yuletide begin. It ain't a sin. You're going to win. All right, y'all. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to do some reading here shortly. Stick around. Let's see what time it is. Wonderful, wonderful. I have just a little bit more. My son is always patient with his father. He's over there doing his cool thing. So I'm going to be right back. Center of Light Radio. We are talking tonight about Occupy 2020. And the word I use to describe that experience is intense. And you simply got a choice.
To be accountable, responsible, enough to believe, and open your heart to receive.
Above and look at your life, and you see the life you live, and you'll be surprised turned out this way and not the way you planned. It's about what you know and what you understand. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Learn to follow that inner voice inside. That's the one that's telling you not to run and hide. See what your life could be when you visualize. It's about what you choose that you'll realize. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Now it's time for you to plan out your life. Seeing what you do by your own design. It's all up to you to make it what you can. It's of your own free will. What don't you understand? Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Make a choice.
Welcome back to Center of Light. We are talking about tonight Occupy 2020. We are at the door. And you are knocking. Consciously or not, you are still making a choice. Life's a choice. It's a choice. When you follow that inner voice inside, that's the one that's telling you not to run and hide. It's all up to you to make it what you can. It's of your own free will. What don't you understand? Lavender Soul, new album coming out. Near future, 6 months, year. We're working, writing songs. It's probably not going to take that long. I can't stand to wait like that. So, tonight we're talking about Occupy 2020, a year of power. Review. We've been reviewing all night. All the things that happened in 2019 alone surpassed 2018 and 2017 and 2016 and 15 collectively. Learned of all these really dark things. Really dark. But what's coming is powerful. But it requires your vision capacity. And I'm not talking about how good your eyesight is. I am talking about that as well. But I'm also talking about how good your eyesight is. This will not open until you get out of judgment. When you can see, you're not judging. There's no wall. There's no filter. Your eyes get a little better. You're not so spiritually myopic anymore. You can see. It's a fail-safe mechanism. But the inability to see will bring one into an experience that the soul is beginning to yearn for, like the tines on a tuning fork. Ding! It's beginning to vibrate. And its only intention is to bring you, what you know as you, in your form of your consciousness, understanding and integration of the divine. Its only intention is to bring you into a conscious alignment with knowing everything I just explained to you. Birth and death has the same intention. Birth's intent is to never again die, and death's intent is to never again be born. But now that both doors are open, the soul is pushing. Ebb and flow. The in-breath of God is so, S-O, and the out-breath is God, is Ham, so Ham, so Ham, so Ham. God's exhaling. Been waiting to exhale. And the soul, the collective soul, is wending its way through every human being on the planet. 2020 is going to be intense. 2021 is going to exponentiate. More intense, more intense, more intense. We're getting to the deep, the subtle layers of spirit, but as we go deeper within ourselves, we're being forced to go within. The situations outside is saying you have no choice but to go into your soul and find some courage or some ground to stand on, or whatever resources, whatever you need to brave this wilderness of an event that's going to show up in your life, and have been and will. From the divine principle. This is me speaking on one of the last chapters in the divine principle. Spirit is not speaking at all in this. It's just from Keith's perspective. Ever since I realized that everything is God, I have experienced moments most people would call miraculous. And I've noticed that when I take the time to recognize God in others, my ego, that has always separated me from them, vanishes, and better relationships are the result. Maybe you're in the same place that I found myself in years ago, confused, angry, and without direction. If so, my first suggestion is to do as the title of this chapter says. Look within. Take an inventory of how you feel about yourself and begin to see how the choice you have made have affected not only yourself but others as well. When you begin to assume full responsibility for everything that happens to you, you will find yourself becoming imbued with the same kind of power I've found, and you will be able to consciously create your own life as I am now able to do. Here's something else for you to try. When you're around others, practice expanding your awareness outward. All you have to do is put your God-given senses to work, and you will begin to discover, as I did, the good in all things. Begin to feel, begin to touch, begin to see, begin to listen. Begin to know, begin to be, begin. Lastly, get back to basics. To help you do that, I now offer 3 tenets that have been and still are quite helpful to me, and they seem to be the foundation of my spirituality. You ready? I'm going to lay out who and what you are. God is omnipresent. You are a child of God. You came from the divine ocean of consciousness. And back to the same divine ocean you will return. And yet we are in the divine ocean still now, just on a thicker level of it. And we lost consciousness of our consciousness only with the hope and the contractual agreement we all made to waken that very consciousness we came from and where we're going to here. That's called heaven on earth. God bless you. The all-knowing tenet, if turning inward unites me with God, then it makes sense to me that omniscience, peace, is my natural state. Take that in. The all-knowing tenet, if turning inward unites me with God, then that makes sense to me that omniscience, peace, is my natural state. The all-powerful tenet, if turning inward unites me with God, then it makes sense to me that omnipotence, love, is my natural state. The all-pervading tenet, if turning inward unites me with God, then it makes sense to me that omnipresence, liberation, is my natural state. The gift God has given to me, I give to you. I take great pleasure in sharing with you my prophetic vision of heaven on earth. You are the vision, the Christ. In truth, all there is you. Walk into your divinity. Walk into the one. May peace be with you this holiday season and all the days of your life. Continuing forth. Tonight we're speaking about the doorway of 2020, the new year, and the power it's going to bring. I ask Spirit, am I correct in saying that since the Bible is based on truth, the prophecies foretold in Revelation are going to come true? It's a question I pose. And Spirit says, Keith, any prophecy in the Bible that has been and might be fulfilled, whether positive or negative, is not necessarily the vision of the prophet alone, but is shared by the many who believe it will come to pass. Yes, those who are locked into believing that a prophet is right form a mass consciousness power that will support them in their convictions. This would be great if the particular vision they share has a positive outcome. But what about one with a negative outcome? Do you want the prophet to be right about that too? And I say, no, I don't. So what do we all do about that? The Spirit says, stop believing that any prophet knew or knows more than you do. All they have seen is where you are likely to be at some point in time and space. Hear me when I say this God that lived or lives in them and has enabled them to see is the same God that lives in you and enables you to see differently. The economy. This was vesseled in 1996. These are all happening. The economy. The world's economy will collapse, and your funds will have no worth. Yes, the very thing many have valued above all will become valueless. The tables have turned. Now what's becoming valuable is your sanity. Your consciousness, your spirit is now your currency. The recent economic downturn in Japan recently must surely indicate to you that such a crash can happen in the prosperous nation. No country is safe from such a fate. But though the world's nations may falter economically, it doesn't mean that many people will not prosper individually. I said this earlier. Those who have developed a prosperity consciousness will be able to manifest what is needed, not only for themselves, but for others close to them. Extraterrestrials, you are not alone. These beings are both present and benevolent, and they possess the knowledge to liberate you more quickly. The more that extraterrestrials make their presence known, the more people will head for churches in droves, hoping to find some answers about why they are here. Yes, they may go once, but many will decide never to go back because no one there will be able to provide answers they seek. Earthquakes, water, fire. There's a lot, so I'm cherry picking. Volcanoes, the ring of fire is alive. World leaders and governments, 1996. The true agenda of many governments and governmental figures worldwide will be brought to light. The United States, the greatest country of all with the greatest form of government, will suffer a major breakdown. Its present legislative branch will collapse, and it will take many years to rebuild it. Because of this restoration process, many old guard politicians will be forced out. Your new lawmakers will not make law per se, but rather will introduce you to divine law and teach you how to fall into flow with it. The establishment of divine order is commencing as I speak. Illnesses. In 1996, Spirit said, energetic diseases will begin to rise. Viruses, computer viruses, this is before, or right at the beginning when strange happenings. What will you do when there are sightings of creatures never before known to man? What will you do when events that you never thought were possible begin to occur? Again, I ask you, what will you do? What will you do? We are at the point where we are being forced to meditate upon the enigma of God. Because what we think truly is or isn't divine will need to be re-examined. Let me say this again. This is not prophecy. Sounds like it. This is law. In the times we're living in, the law is being revealed. The law written on your heart, etched in your heart for all time. That you came here to inscribe as a scribe into the stone of this earth. There's a law. You came here to uphold. And it's to plant that as a reality. We're now forced to meditate upon the enigma of God. Basically, the illusions of what we think is or isn't divine, all of it is going to be shattered. And you're going to be left with yourself. Because of my love for you, ask yourself the question. If my illusions get presented to me with the attempt of soul to be burnt away into the transient fire of purification, will I like what I'm left with? Simple question. You know the answer already. We all have work to do. The light is burning the dark, and it's doing it by revealing it. And guess what the process is? Light reveals the dark. We see it. We make choice. Check it out. That's the formula. That's the process. Light make nicey. reveals all the nonsense. We see, we make choice. Make choice. We're done with that. We're done with that. We're done with that. It's not allowed. It's not going to happen anymore. It's done. And we do that by bringing the light of awareness to the situation. And we'll begin to play the game of life fairly. And then you pass go. And then you get $200. You're liking it. You're excelling at the game. And everyone else around you is learning how to play the game correctly. We all make choices. God reveals, we see, we choose. Things happen. God reveals, we see, we choose. Things happen. God reveals, we see, we choose. We make things happen. That's the cycle. That's the spiritual dynamic that happens for every human being, and collectively we get the momentum moving. It requires you to be moved yourself inside, to be a part of the force into the worldwide movement. It's a worldwide movement. 51% creates heaven on earth. Actually, heaven on earth happens for many people now. I'm living it. But there are deeper degrees, and I'm diving in to the hunt with everything I have. 2020. The door is open. The doors are opening, and they're converging, and they look like this divine energy. Coming together. Occupy 2020. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Charles. Nancy says, choices to the light, not to the dark. I loved your idea on that. But there's also another truth that is very, very helpful. What is in our life that is illumined, we already see. Doesn't need illumination. It's illumined. Hence, I can see it. God is being recognized, the light. The darkness is where the problems are. Our own problems. If you don't know you are ill, you're dark to the idea of the fact that you might be ill. Not a good thing. If you're dark to the idea or ignorant of the idea, any one of us, that our spouse bought a new piece of furniture and the light's off so we can't see. You come home from work and you break your toe on the furniture. So it's not about just running to the light. The light is who you are. We are radiated light. That's why people can see you. You radiate light. The eyes take it in, send it to the brain. Oh, that's my friend Keith. Oh, that's my friend John. Oh, that's my friend Susie. The light is what you are. The nonsense in the way is the darkness. So how do we clean the darkness? You just can't run from the darkness. You have to illuminate the darkness. And then it all turns to light. And it doesn't mean light in this angelic and airy-fairy kind of fuzzy-wuzzy kind of spiritual woo-woo way. What it really means is there's no more ignorance. Everything is revealed. Everything is there. Everything is visible. I can see. In everything. Everything I've ever thought was possible gets shattered into the fire. Now I'm left with the truth, which is what? What would be the truth? Let's play the game of life to the end. And then I'll take a couple of questions. And I'm going to spend some time with my beautiful boy. We're going to watch some Christmas movies. Hello, everyone in YouTube land. I want to put on a little bit of background. One moment. All right. So if we think about this, expounding a little more on light and dark, when Buddhist monks, yogis, when the Buddhist monk goes into Himalayan caves, or someone who loves God in any religion they profess and wants to be alone, they want to be alone. And the yogis, they go into the mountains And the Buddhist monks go into the monasteries. They go into the dark. They go into the darkened spaces. They want no distractions. They want to go into the darkness, which is actually illumined. If you go far enough inside the darkness within yourself, and I don't mean the demon darkness, I mean the closing of the eyes and shutting everything down. And it seems like there's a void because your eyes are closed. Keep falling into that. Stargate opens up. And your maker says, "Hi, do you remember me?" So, what do we expect to experience once we traverse through the wilderness? Once we brave our own dark mountain? What is the one on Lords of the Rings with the eye? Your own demon, right? It sits right there. And it governs your throne. It governs your kingdom. And you know how to swing that sword as the king or the queen. But suddenly, through the silence, the new world will appear. You will understand something you cannot write about. You will understand something that is very difficult to convey into words. It's a new language. And it doesn't require sound. But in the quiet, there's a profound, deafening sound. It's called the music of the spheres. It's the breath of God. It's kind of like this Om chant you're hearing. It's primal. Listen to this. Feel that current? And in there you're safe. In there you're invincible. In there is everything that you have been looking for. 2020 is the doorway to that. Don't be late. You might not be able to catch up with the train that's pulling out of the station unless you can really, really run. Take the time to look. Dear Lord, if you've been thinking of exiting politics, God bless you. Well, I just do it for... It's not fun. And it has its meat hooks in you. To whatever degree you are playing that game. Life is a game. You have to play it fairly in order to take the next level. Isn't that how games are played? The game of life. John or Jill Doe's life. It's a game. He came out here to play. That's what children do. We are children of God. So we came down here to play. Shall we play a game? I'm excited. Tails wagging. I want to play a game. I love games. Be careful which one you incite. The world is beginning to spin. And I don't mean the planet. You have to match your swirl. The planet's moving like this. You have to match your swirl with it. Then you're balanced, right? If you're off kilter, the whole thing goes awry. And it just collapses. You don't want your world to collapse. So you find the beat of the planet. It's a lot of bad shit in the planet right now. Okay, I get it. So you move with the energy. There's a lot of good stuff on the planet. So it speeds up and you move the energy. And you find the common root core vibration. And you align with it. It's kind of like gravity. You're no longer pigeon-held. It's kind of like centrifugal force. When you liken your spin to the other spin, what spin are you in? Yours or its? It's harmonized so you can find balance. But when the energy is not as yours, that's called judgment and conflict and always being a hard head and always doing these things that you know you shouldn't or don't have to. Take the time to align. 2020. Here you go, 2020. Hindsight is 2020. Don't we all want 2020 vision? Don't we want to see ahead of ourselves? Inward is upward, which is forward, which is toward something. And that something is Occupy 2020. All right, everyone, before I shine off, I'm going to shine off tonight, y'all. Sign off. I'm going to read a few of these comments and say hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Sandy, Kelly, Rick, everyone I named already. I'm just scanning. Carmen DeShasha's here. She's having an amazing turn of beautiful situations in her life. What's up, Shar? Or Char? Shar, Rick, Vito, Lewis, Lynn, Elwood, Crystal. What's up, Crystal? Christopher Bingham, Kelly. Everyone, welcome, blessings, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. Anna. All right, let me read a few. Kelly says, I have gone to hell and back, made it through the dark night of the soul. Can't wait to see what I get to go through next and what I get to learn. And that keeps you in alignment. Great. And experience. It's about the journey I'm finally understanding. Suddenly, through the silence, the new world appears. You feel expanded. I can't explain it. You will get it. Hi, Nori. Hi, Brenda. Cindy. Carolyn Ronaldo says hello. Hello, precious. Karen Cox. Hi. Carolyn says, are you speaking of New World Order? Actually, I am speaking of New World Order. I'm going to change the connotation and the spin of New World Order. I'm not talking about the elite New World Order. I'm talking about something new that's coming, and that's order in the world. Divine order. I'm going to call that the New World Order. Not THE, New World Order. Not the New World Order. New World Order. I'm speaking about THEE. The New World Order. Right? Having some fun. Throwing out a pun or two with you. Let's see. Life is God, says Nancy. That's it. God is life. Every time you breathe in and out, Spirit is just moving right through you. Debbie says, Keith, if I am stuck on something, if you don't mind, I will message you about New Year foe, what's going to happen. And I knew some of this for a while now. Nancy says, with God's truth, your light. With God's truth, your light already. The heaviest is with the dark. Yeah, just ignorance and fear and jealousy, insecurities. All that stuff is just gray. Nancy says, thank you, Keith. Right on. Carolyn, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to try it. She says, 111. 111 hertz. Helpful. Go to YouTube. Listen to 111 hertz. Just type in 111HZ. And you may see soul rejuvenation or cleanses this or opens up this or that. Check it out. See what feels right to you. Char says, hello, lovelies. She has to be from England, I'm assuming first, then Australia second. Krista says, hi, friends. I'm late to the party, but I love you guys. Speaking of party, real soon, I'm going to have a Center of Light Christmas party. I'm going to set up my music gear, and I'm going to yodel for a little while. Have some drinks, some eggnog. We're going to be spiked. So there's this big truck passing down my street. Listen to that. If you have speakers, big speakers, listen. The whole ground is shaking. So moving forth, Yes, Carmen Shasha says, new cosmic spiritual order. Love it. Callan says, like being part of the earth. Nicole Parrish. Everyone, thank you very much. I want to grab something just cause. I want to wish you all, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Roo-roo. Eden Sky. Couple of posts real quick. This is important. You can always choose in this room, there's an ellipsis, 3 dots that says notify me when Keith goes live. I need you, would love you to be a part of my tribe as I am a part of yours. Please share. That group, those group of links are to my bestseller. If you have not purchased it yet, you will love it. It's also the energy that comes off of it is very powerful. Supports my work as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those links are all there. But also, before I close, to eat some grubbage and hang out with my beautiful boy, excuse me, young man. I am now moving all of my work 2020. Please do this now or shortly after I sign off, to Facebook Center of Light Radio, as well as YouTube. YouTube.com/Center of Light Radio. Go to my channel. I'm posting there right now. You can find my work there. You can also find it on Center of Light Radio on Facebook. Facebook.com/Center of Light Radio. I'm going to get this off of my personal wall. I will drop the link on my personal wall when I do the feeds, but I don't want to anchor the video to my personal. I want to start because it changes the SEO, Google search, Facebook algorithms thingy kind of thing. That's what it does. I'm following suit. I'm gonna wear a suit, y'all. I cannot wear a monkey suit. Will never wear a monkey suit unless I just have to wear it. I wish you the best. Beyond measure. Be open. Well, if I get this, I'll settle for that. No. That spirit will not even get you what you think you are wanting and would settle with. That spirit is not going to get you the settlement at all. Since if I get just that, I'll be satisfied. You won't get it. Not in this energy. So now you have to go for the gusto. So why not go for the gusto and put all of you into it? Your fate in receiving it is guaranteed. Do nothing, and you will go nowhere fast, and nothing at all will happen. Real soon, I'm going to be Christmas night. Pre-recorded audio, but I will be there telling the story of Christ as well as Christ's presence in my life many years ago when he released my consciousness from my body and showed me the fate of humanity. At least on the parallel vibration I live on. So I want to occupy the higher vibration that vision brought me to and allowed me to experience. Thank you, Yeshua, because I want to live it now. Not just experience it in the form of an apparition and a vision. I want to live that vision. I want to realize that dream and anchor heaven on earth. May God bless you in everything you do and everything that you are. You are loved beyond measure.